Today we're cracking open another adventure, and this time we're getting lost in the high forest. So let's do it. Hey fellow Game Masters, I'm Richard Quiner, and welcome back to the Daily D20, your daily dose of all things tabletop role-playing games, helping you build your world and master your game. If you like what you see on this here channel, I invite you of course to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you can get notified whenever a new video goes live every day. As is becoming tradition on Fellowship Friday, we're looking at another adventure published by another game master out there. This time it's the adventure called Lost in the High Forest, and it's a 5-page module for dungeon masters to use in their Dungeons & Dragons games. A warning from here on out, there will be spoilers ahead, and so viewer discretion is advised. If you don't want to know what's going on and you just want to read it, then now would be the time to click away. Lost in the High Forest is a very short 5-page adventure module from the writer Fred Love. I'm not sure if that's his real name, but he does have other books out there, so maybe. The great thing about this module is even though it's 5 pages, he took the time to pack in a lot of information. Small print, tons of information in here. It feels like a much longer module than it actually is, so keep that in mind. There's a lot of stuff here despite the low page count. Now, the High Forest is a well-known location in Faerun in the Dungeons & Dragons lore, and this module gives us a little more to do when we go visit there as 6th level adventurers. To summarize this module, the adventurers are entering the High Forest, heading towards Shadowtop Cathedral to find a treant named Terlang. The reason to be in the forest, the hook, we'll say, is left up to the dungeon master discretion. Depending on the game you're running, you get to decide how you're going to hook your players into this adventure. After being lost in the High Forest, when the players do finally arrive at Shadowtop Cathedral, they find that Terlang isn't there, and something is indeed fishy in the High Forest. Through discussing things with the local denizens of the Shadowtop Cathedral, they discover that Terlang had actually been attacked by a rogue druid. Now, why would a druid attack a treant? They're supposed to be nature-loving people, or that's a big twist, and it has to do with kraken magic. So in the end, it's up to the adventurers to save Terlang and get some great loot from this adventure. A couple interesting things I noticed when reading this module. First off is that the creator put a lot of emphasis on the idea of getting lost in the High Forest, and even created a way through game mechanics and rolling dice that the adventure party can get lost. And every time the adventure party can get lost, they have the chance of having a random encounter. And every time they have a random encounter, they're basically back to trying to find their way through the High Forest again, which means they have the opportunity to get lost once again, which goes with the namesake of Lost in the High Forest. Whenever the adventure party gets lost in the High Forest, they're able to have a random encounter that the dungeon master can roll up on a handy table that's provided in this booklet. One encounter could be an adult green dragon that's just hunting in the woods. The other one could be they could find a teleportation stone that sends them to their destination. These are purely random based on the die that the dungeon master rolls. The High Forest does include some non-random encounters for the party to experience, such as a lone unicorn who lost their love and just wants to be left alone, or a bunch of ghost barbarians that are trying to be put to their final rest, or even a bunch of awakened plants that are actively trying to hide the trail from the adventurers. This book is so packed full of encounters, including the random encounters and the non-random encounters, that this I could see running for several sessions if the party wanted to just experience the High Forest in all its glory. When the party does finally get to Shadowtop Cathedral, they're able to throw down with the druid, Airglass, and his small pack of owlbears. And upon winning that fight, they'll have a chance to be able to actually rescue the treant. Now, I think that's just a cool picture, a druid riding an owlbear, leading a pack of owlbears into combat, but you be the judge of that when you get to play this session. Now, it's mentioned in the very beginning of this module that this is actually an expansion to a section in the book Storm King's Thunder that takes place in the High Forest, so maybe there's stuff that I'm missing because I didn't read that module first, but I think there could be some more information given about the High Forest that could really help us set the scene. Other than that, though, the descriptive boxes are just enough that the players would get a good idea of what they're looking at in the game, but they're also vague enough so that the dungeon master can take a little creative license with their descriptions and make the scenario fit their campaign more perfectly. One small complaint I do have about this module is that it almost leaves too much to the dungeon master discretion. And I know it sounds like I can't be happy, but this one straight up says come up with your own hooks, which is fine, but would it have been too hard to leave 1 or 2 hooks in the book so the dungeon master could read it and play off the hooks that are written? by this creator. I guess this really doesn't matter because most of us are probably just homebrewing and coming up with our own stuff anyway, but I just thought that would have been nice if this was picked up by a new game master just running it off the cuff. For a 5-page read, this had a lot of really great information, and I did enjoy it, and I do see a lot of value in the encounters here. I have been waiting for a chance to take my players into the High Forest, and this gives me plenty of random encounters, plenty of non-random encounters, and just a nice little side quest that they can go on if they feel so inclined. So we'll see if I actually get to work this into a campaign, but I would like to do that, and I'm gonna try. All in all, this module, though, is perfect to just pick up and insert into any campaign setting, into any kind of magical forest that you might encounter. Now, I want to know what you think. What other short adventures are out there that I should pick up and check out? Let me know in the comments below what your favorite D&D adventures are. If you've liked this video, please leave a like down below, and also subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified when I upload every day. And well, fellow Game Masters, I've been Richard Quiner. Thank you for watching.